On today's Fast Friday, I'm going to show you a trick to help you lock in your white balance. Hi everyone, welcome to Pal to Tech and Fast Friday. Many users of Fujifilm cameras don't often think about setting the correct white balance. The Fujifilm system does a very good job at calculating the white balance automatically. Also, many of you shoot in RAW format and you simply adjust your white balance later on in Lightroom or Capture One anyway. However, for those of you who enjoy shooting straight out of the camera JPEGs, as well as those of you who are shooting video on your Fujifilm camera, having a consistent and correct white balance is critical. I've done videos before on how to set a manual white balance. Usually, this involves placing a white piece of paper in your scene that you can then set a custom white balance off of, which will work for the duration of your scene. However, video is a whole other set of challenges because lighting temperatures could change within the same scene. You've got this, say you got that, but you've also got that if you happen to move the camera in a different direction. Your camera will constantly be trying to keep up and adjust the white balance as you move from scene to scene. And this becomes especially difficult to deal with when trying to edit video and apply color correction and color grading afterwards. Because of this, if you're shooting video, under most circumstances, you should be setting a manual white balance. However, sometimes you may not have a piece of paper handy, or the scene or the conditions that you're shooting may be moving very quickly, and you want to have the best of both worlds. You want to use your Fujifilm camera's awesome ability to automatically calculate the best white balance, but at the same time, lock in that value so that it doesn't change from scene to scene. Fortunately, there is an awesome setting that every Fujifilm camera owner should be aware of. The first thing you're going to need to do is pick a custom button to assign this new feature to. I'm going to use the bottom button on this D-pad right here. As always, to assign a custom button, press and hold down the DISP back button until you get this menu right here. Then find the button that you want to assign, which right here is the bottom D-pad button, and you're looking for an entry that says AWB. There it is, AWB Lock only. Go ahead and choose that and then get out of that menu. The next thing you need to do is go back into the menu and go to the little wrench and go into where it says button dial setting. Scroll down until you get to what's called AWB Lock Mode, Auto White Balance Lock Mode. You have two choices. Either it will lock your auto white balance while you're holding down the button, or you can toggle the auto white balance lock from that same button, turn it on, it stays on until. Then you press it again to turn it off. I'm going to go ahead and have it on the switch mode, which is better for video, because if you think about it, you're not going to want to have to hold the button down the entire time. As you're shooting your video, you want to set it in the beginning of your scene and forget it. Now, in order to see the icon showing you that you have the auto white balance locked, you need to be sure that your screen is set up to do that. What you do is you go into your screen settings in the wrench, screen setup, scroll down. If you're using large indicators mode, if you have bad eyes, then you want to go into large indicators display setting here. Right there is your white balance. You can place it wherever you want on the screen, okay? If you've never changed the screen settings and it's on the normal regular size icons, then simply go into DISP custom setting instead. And in there, if you scroll down, you'll see a choice for white balance. Make sure that that's checked. Okay, now you've set up the button and you set up the ability to see the icon on the screen. So let's say you're setting up for a new scene and you have a warmer lighting condition right here, okay? Now you've got your subject and you've got this and you're ready to go. It's all about the gear. Okay, your scene is set up. Now you can go into your menu, obviously. Now the only white balance setting in here that the auto white balance lock will work on is auto. It will not work on white priority or ambience priority, just auto. And of course, it has nothing to do with these other ones here. If I go ahead and I set, for example, a color temperature manually, right, I can change it right from here. And if I do that, as you can see, there it is listed right there, 3600 Kelvin. But say I want to do it quickly using auto white balance, but I don't want the auto to change. I want to set it once in the beginning of my scene, and then that's it. Go into my menu, go into white balance, and simply go into auto. Now it's on auto white balance, okay? Now I'm gonna press the button that I assigned earlier. Boom, see that? If you see that blue icon appear, now I can move the camera all over the place. I can change the lighting, whatever, and it's gonna keep those same auto white balance settings. Now, sometimes in some scenes that actually could be a problem, and you should reset the white balance to the new scene. But if you need something done quickly with a minimum of hassle, and you don't want the camera to constantly be changing the white balance as you're moving it around in your scene, go ahead and lock and set the auto white balance. That way, the camera will use its sensors and its technology to pick the white balance, the best white balance perfectly, and then you lock it in. It's a great way to do it. Well, I hope you found the video helpful, and if you did, be sure to give it the like and subscribe. Auto white balance lock is a great feature. Try it out on your camera. I think you'll find it very useful. And we will see you next week. Take care.